About 4 years ago, I started working in a special education classroom. And I won't lie, when I started working there, I was a little nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I hadn't really had the opportunity to work with special needs people before, but I learned to love them quickly, and I also soon discovered how important it is for us to participate in special needs inclusion programs because it's so beneficial for them. A special needs inclusion program is a program pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a program where special needs people feel included and they get to be included in the general population. And they learn social skills and they get to interact there, and also we get to learn to interact with them. So throughout the 4 years that I've worked with them, I've had many opportunities within my work to be in inclusion programs, and I've actually found some places that I like to volunteer at outside. But what I've also learned is there's not very many people who are willing to actually participate in these programs. But it's so beneficial for the special needs people, and it's so beneficial, I think, for the people who volunteer to work in these programs. Many people, I think, are just afraid and intimidated, or they're not aware of the importance of it. It's so important for people to work in these programs because it's where special needs people learn social skills, behavioral skills, and life skills that will help them. I interviewed Lori Camilleri, who's been a special education teacher for 30 years, and I asked her why she thought more people weren't willing to participate in these programs. And she said, people are just afraid of the unknown. I believe that we've grown up in a society where a lot of us have learned to turn our backs on people who are different. So a lot of us don't know what it's like to work with people with special needs, and so we don't get out there, and we're not very willing to do it. So by us working in it, we learn those skills that we need to participate with these people, because we're all going to have times in our lives when we come across someone who has special needs, or when we have the opportunity to work with them. But luckily we have programs out there where we can all participate in these programs. Some of them include inclusion programs in schools. We can go volunteer in schools. We can volunteer with Special Olympics, where special needs people get to go participate in sports with people on their own level, but we can go and volunteer and coach, and it's a great opportunity. There's also a place in Mesa called the Mark Center for people who are developmentally disabled, where they go there during the day for group activities, but you can go bowling with them, but stuff like that. But I think a lot of people are so worried about it because they don't know what to expect. They don't know what they're getting into. It's not going to be some hard academic things where they're going to be melting down all the time. These kind of programs are programs that are fun. Some of the things that I've been able to do with the kids I work with or outside of work is just playing games with them, talking with them. I garden with them. I've cooked with them. I've sang with them. We play sports. You can be a coach. So they're all things that are low-key, not scary, fun things that you would enjoy doing. On kidstogether.org, it says that some of the benefits of inclusion for students with disabilities are friendships, increased social interactions, relationships, peer role models for academic, social, and behavior skills, increased achievement in academic goals and higher expectations, and increased inclusion for future environments. It also said on the website, the benefits of inclusion for students without disabilities is meaningful friendships, increased appreciation and acceptance of individuals with differences, increased understanding and acceptance of diversity, respect for all people, and it prepares all students for adult life in an inclusive society. And I've just seen the benefits from this in my life, and I've seen the students that I've worked with and how beneficial it is for them. Kidstogether.org also states there has not been any research that shows any negative effects from inclusion done appropriately within the necessary supports and services. Like I said, everything that I've seen has been positive. I've seen kids grow and progress. One story that I have, I worked with a student about a couple years ago, and when I started working with him, he was terrified to leave our classroom. Within our classrooms, he knows that, everyone's going to love him and care for him and do whatever they need for him. But we needed to get him outside of the classroom. But we have a teacher at the school I work at, and he's a general education teacher, but he has been working with Special Olympics for over 20 years, so he knows how to interact with these kids. So we put him in his classroom, and he put him with students where he knew the students would be appropriate with him and be kind to him, and the results were amazing. By the end of the year, this student was such a social butterfly. Students would seek him out at lunch and want to hang out with him. Everyone said hi to him when they would walk by, and his self-confidence went up so much. It just blew my mind. And it was so good for them, but I've seen the effects that it does on the people that work with them too. This year we've had students come in from the general education classes who have come to work with my students, and I actually did a questionnaire with them last week, and I've asked them what they've experienced throughout this program and how it's going to affect them. And one student, a 7th grade girl, her response really surprised me, and I was really grateful for it. She said, "These experiences will help me in life because instead of seeing them for their disabilities, I have recognized them for their many abilities and creativity. Through working with these students, I have been able to pass down my knowledge and share my experiences with other students with the goal to have a greater level of acceptance for disabled kids, which would prevent bullying and outcasting." When I read this, I was amazed that after such a short amount of time, my kids had affected her so much. She had made a decision to change and to do good things with her life. And because of that, she's been willing and trying to share it with other people. And I know because of that, and the other students have been able to work with them, I know that our school has been a more accepting school, and they've been more caring and loving towards my kids and the other special needs kids. At brighthub.education.com it says, "In a broader sense, students who are taught in an inclusion setting are more likely to build a society that is accepting of differences and able to respect people in and from diverse backgrounds." And I just have to agree. I've seen, like I said before, I've seen nothing but positive outcomes from this. I've seen great things, and I've been able to experience things that I wouldn't have been able to experience anywhere else. I can walk out of that classroom every day and say that I love my kids no matter what. And honestly, I'd do anything for them. I go to all of their events. I go to all of their awards assemblies, and I know it impacts me, and I know it affects them too. So I know if we make a choice to volunteer with these remarkable people, I know it can greatly help them and you. So I hope you guys make a choice today to make a difference. And I have some websites here. The first one is SpecialOlympicsArizona.org, where we can go and find different service opportunities. CastService.blogspot.com is actually a friend of mine who sets up service opportunities, a whole bunch of different ones, but she does a lot of Special Olympics, and this one's where you can find groups to go with, or the Mark Center, which I talked about earlier. So if we're more willing to participate, I know that there will be great benefits and advantages to the people we work with and for us. So I hope you guys go out there and make a change in someone's life for the good, and I know they'll do the same for you. Does anyone have any questions?
How old, what's the age range of the kids you work with?
The age range for the kids I work with are middle school age, so they're about 11 to 14. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Thanks. Did you have one, Marvin?
Oh, yeah. Have you heard of doing like respite?
I actually have heard about doing respite. I haven't done respite before, but I'm going to be doing it this summer with one of my students, actually. I've worked with her for 3 years, and I decided I couldn't part with her. So I'm going to start working with her since she's moving on to high school. I get to start working with her after school. So did that answer your question?
Yeah.
How old were you, and what made you want to first start getting into this?
When I started working with them?
Yeah.
When I started working with them, I was 21, and honestly, I just needed a new job, and my mom was like, "You should do this. It'll be a good job. You could go to school at night." I wasn't planning on being a special ed teacher, and within a few months, I was like, I know this is what I want to do. I want to be with them, and I love them, and I honestly can't emphasize enough how greatly these children have made an impact on my life. I adore them, and I love them, and I love being with them. Did that answer your question? Any other questions?
Isn't there a Special Olympics here at MCC?
There is. Thank you for asking that question. This Saturday, actually, I believe it might be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, they're going to be doing track here. And I have 2 students who will be doing that. And one of the days, it might actually be Friday and Saturday. I'm not quite sure on that. I'll have to look up the dates for you. But Friday is for the younger kids, and Saturday is for older people. And any of you guys who want to participate and volunteer, all you do is have to show up. There's a volunteer booth. You can go there and participate, and they'll give you a job to do, and it's so much fun. So I don't have any more time, but thank you for your questions, and I hope you guys decide to make a difference.